Howdy y'all, welcome back to the Saddle Sore Saga. I've switched off Kiki for today, so we shouldn't hear anything. Okay, anyway, we are going to install the Givi side stand foot. That's what they call it. There are a bunch of different names for this kind of product, like a kickstand extender, but this is the Givi side stand foot.
That I bought for you.
What?
I bought it. How can you leave me out of this video?
I bought it. I saw the charge on my credit card.
I procured it. Procurement can be a high-paying job.
Yeah, almost as much as it's a high-spending job. Now go away.
Really?
Okay, fine. Thank you for this kickstand foot thingy.
Yay, you're welcome. If anyone else wants to buy this or other parts, you can view my procurement work at saddlesoresaga.com.
Okay, thank you, Kiki. Now may I proceed?
Sure enough.
All right, so what is the purpose of this little thing? Let me give you a close-up real quick. This is a side stand extender or foot. You can see that this one is used. This actually came on the bike and I ripped it off so I could do this challenge where I rebuild it over time. But yeah, it's just 3 pieces of metal. I think they're all aluminum. And what this does is it spreads out the pressure of the kickstand. Okay, so take a look at this here. This is just a little oval of steel. Well, this is fine on concrete and pavement and things like that. Even if the pavement gets too hot, like say you have an asphalt, tarmac, whatever, that gets a little hot, this small area, it can take all the mass of that motorcycle and just push it right through and knock the bike over. So you can really squish down. If you get into muddy dirt, sand, gravel, this is not gonna work out really well. So what this does is increases the size of that footprint quite a lot. And this is a pretty simple little thing. You just slot this right into place, and then you use this clamp over the top to attach it. So before we get started on that, I want to point out some of the tools. I'll have links to these on saddlesoresaga.com and probably in the description of this video as well. So if you want to purchase some of the tools that I used here, these are some of my favorites. I use these all the time, the Craftsman ratcheting wrench and the sockets, or excuse me, the bits. And then lately I've been using this a lot. This is it's very Chinese, but this is a really cool little ratcheting bit driver that gets into really hard to reach spots. So I'll put a link to this as well. And this has just tons of little bits in here, including the Torx ones that we're gonna be using today. But one last thing, if you need to prop the bike up because you need to get this kickstand up in the air, a bunch of different ways you can do it. If you want to go the really expensive way, you could get a jack. You could use a stand like you see here, and I'll have links to those as well because I really like these stands and they're useful for all kinds of stuff. Heck, just get a buddy to hold it up for you, or maybe you can lean it against the wall. There are some really cheap ways of getting this up in the air, but just make sure that it's nice and secure, and we're good to go. Are you ready for these complicated steps? Just pop this foot into place. This plate slides over the top, and then each of these Torx screws goes through and into the bottom plate. Now this is something where you may consider using blue Loctite. I will put that in the description as well. Use blue, not red. I know all the containers are red, but you have to look and see which one you bought. It'll actually say on it, blue, red, whatever, and then the liquid on the inside will have different colors. Blue is one that's great for things that rattle around, but you want to be able to take them off afterward. If you start getting into something like red Loctite, you have to use a torch to loosen it up. Okay, so here's my ratcheting wrench. Love this little thing. And I'm starting to see already that we have some kind of tight spots where we're going to need this little bit driver set off to the side. This bit is not quite the right size anyway. So let's get this next one. Oh yeah, that's perfect. So what is that? A 25. Okay, so I can at least get these partway in. Now if you have the kind that are those little keys, like the Allen keys, those would be pretty easy to get into place here. There we go. Now we have the sandwich roughly in place, and it's time to put a little torque on them. So yeah, this little guy is reversible for your different directions. Let's see. Yeah, that fits better. And you can get quite a bit of torque from these. The bottom plate is aluminum, so don't get too crazy. There. Make sure you go around and check each one. Sometimes they can back out based on the torque of another side. But that looks good. Feels solid. And now we're gonna have a bigger footprint. This is a part that makes a pretty big difference, and it's not very expensive. So if you want to begin your journey making your bike a little bit better, this is not a bad place to start, actually. It gives you just a little bit more confidence, especially when you're in the outdoors. Yeah, that feels much better. Now, a couple things to keep in mind. This does make the bike stand up a little taller and straighter, so it's not going to lean over quite as much. Watch out when you go to park. Just make sure that you have, you're not on a slope the opposite direction that makes your bike want to keel over. This is going to stand up a little bit more. So maybe you want to have this on the downhill side instead of on the uphill. That's about it. Aside from that, just pure upgrade. And speaking of which, I want to earn more upgrades. So let's get on this thing. Let's get back to the Saddle Sore Saga, do some challenges, start earning some goodies. Thanks a bunch for watching, everybody. Make sure you check out the upcoming episodes. Subscribe to this channel for more fun and games. Listen to Kiki if you want to have a bad day or get some procurement done. But follow Jesus no matter what you do. See you guys around.